When I was 21 years old, I made over $500,000 in 8 months selling a productivity offer, literally on how to wake up earlier, because I followed this one simple high-ticket offer creation framework. And it took me less than 60 minutes to make this high-ticket offer, and I'm going to show you how to do it in less than 30. So right now you might be thinking, I have an idea for a digital product, but I have no idea how to even set it up, how to give it a name, how to package it together so that people are willing to pay a premium high-ticket price for it. I'm going to teach you something called the OCA. That stands for Offer Creation Assessment, right? Now, very simple. How do you actually do this assignment? First and foremost, just to give you a guideline, please don't overthink this. This is literally should be done in one deep work session. So one morning or afternoon, whatever you're most productive, okay? Complete the next exercises, move forward with it. Because you can change this on later on as many times as you want. But the most important thing is we have to get this offer in front of your audience in order to see how they respond to it so you can make those tweaks. Because if you don't get tweaks from other people, you're never going to know what the perfect, attractive offer is. So don't overthink it. At the very maximum, it's really just an educated yes. So that's why this should take you less than 30, 60 minutes to do. Okay. Remember that your TMS, your transformation marketing statement, will continue to change. And the most important thing as you make this, as we do this exercise, is you should constantly be thinking about what's the one bleeding neck problem, right? If you're selling an offer in the big three, health, wealth, or relationships, you need to think through the more painful and complex the problem is, the more you can charge to solve it. So for example, I know some people that are mindset coaches and they just want to go, well, I just want to do life coaching in general. Or I want to do life coaching for moms. I want to do life coaching for busy working professionals. But do you see how life coaching, like what does that mean? What does that mean in terms of what life coaching is? So the more specific you can have about it, specific kind of person you're working with, specific outcome that you have, the more powerful and compelling your offer is going to be. So the first step that we're going to do is called the brain dump, okay? And by the way, I'm going to give you a Google Doc here of this worksheet filled out to the brim, step by step by step, of when I was creating my first high performance offer, the offer that made over $500,000. My example, I'm going to give you a fitness example, I'll give you a business example. And so this whole worksheet, by the way, you can check out afterwards and read through this so you have an idea of what you could do on your own, right? And I even give you niche ideas. I give you different kinds of TMSs. I give you like 10 different kinds of transformation marketing statements that are already built out, right? As well as a unique mechanism, everything we're going to cover. So make sure you hang with me here so you understand how to do this yourself. And then I'm going to give you these Google Docs, okay? So brain dumping simply means right now, if you're like, well, I don't even know what kind of offer to create, the first thing we have to do is we have to ask ourselves a few questions and get everything inside of our head down onto paper, okay? And that's what brain dumping means. Dump it all out of your head and onto paper. So this exercise here is going to help you narrow down your idea. So first off, ask yourself, what kind of career life experience do you have? What have you done in your life? Okay, let's talk about your passions. What do you like doing and learning in your free time, right? Again, the reason why I sold the productivity offer was because when I was 20, 21 years old, I really liked reading books and watching videos on productivity. Like it was kind of weird, but I like reading books on, hey, this is how you wake up earlier and study better in school. That's what I did when I was in college. It was my passion. I would literally watch that in my free time. So what is that for you? Because chances are that's the thing that you should be making your offer on, okay? Another really good question to ask is, when you're with friends, what do you like talking about, okay? Or what do your friends know you for talking about? You can even text 5 of your friends and just send them a message on WhatsApp, on iMessage. Hey, I'm thinking about doing an offer creation exercise right now, something that my coach, my mentor, Richard's teaching me. Could you just let me know, what are things that you see that I constantly like talking about? Like, what do you know me for? Right? And they'll tell you like, yeah, you always talk about this one specific thing, right? What did you study in school is another really good question. Does that impact anything that you like? Typically in university, we choose things, or in high school, we choose things that we like studying, right? And once you answer all of these questions here, there should be common things that start to pop out, right? And those things are going to be things that you should start creating your offer on, right? Think through, is there something in particular that you're very passionate and you're interested in, okay? Now, once you do this exercise, now we're going to move into reflecting on your hero's journey. So I call it the hero's journey, and I give credit to Russell Brunson, and he taught me this in the very beginning, a couple years back. If you think about any kind of movie, right, you think about Spider-Man or you think about Batman, like any superhero movie, you'll notice that there's a journey of that character, right? In the beginning, like let's just go Spider-Man, Peter Parker, right? In the beginning, he was this high school nerd, glasses, was bullied, right? Couldn't defend himself. And then one day something happened. And then one day he got shoved down by a bully and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for him. And then all of a sudden he gets bit by a spider and he has this crazy transformation, right? That's a hero's journey. And you follow that journey throughout the whole movie. So when you think about your own life, I want you to just have a little fun with this and think, hey, I'm the superhero of my own movie. Because I'll just tell you high level as your coach, You are a superhero of your own movie, my friend. Your life is the movie that you're writing, and you are in control of writing your own story, blessed by God, blessed by the resources that you've been given, by the talents that he's been entrusted to you, and you have to write your own story because you're in full control of your decisions on a day-to-day basis. And so with that being said, you are a superhero, and I believe that you're a superhero. So you got to step into that and think through, okay, if I'm a superhero and I can truly change other people's lives, then therefore I need to start thinking of creating my story as a superhero. Does that make sense? So this problem here is going to be asking these questions. I want you to think through, what's a gut-wrenching problem, a super painful problem that you've solved in your life, or that you're in active process of solving right now, right? And then I want you to think about, has that led to me having a particular skill that I've mastered? Or if not mastered, I've gotten pretty dang good at compared to the average person, okay? I also want you to think through, what's the most painful thing that you've ever been through? And are there other people in this world that also struggle through this, right? If you're going through a relationship, divorce, maybe, if you've suffered through a divorce, you had a partner cheat on you, did you make it through, right? Was that extremely painful for you? Well, guess what? There's how many other people out there that have gone through painful divorces? How many other people out there have had people cheat on them before, right? Well, guess what? That could be a relationship offer. Boom, just like that. Were you bullied when you're in high school, when you're in university? Did you always feel insecure because you're overweight? Well, how many other people do you think in the world are also insecure and were bullied or made fun of because of their weight, right? So that's if you're making a weight loss offer. So think through the pain that you've gone through, because you can turn that mess into a message, right? And then having gone through those pains, what makes your story and your skill set different from anyone else on the planet? Now, I don't want you to think through, well, there's other people that have also done what I've done. Of course there are. There's hundreds, if not thousands of people that have created weight loss, fitness offers, business offers, relationship offers. But what makes you unique based off of your story? And then finally, reflect on your interactions with friends, family, your peers, your coworkers, people around you in your social life. What do they generally come to you for help? What would they say your zone of genius is? Right, remember what I told you a couple minutes ago? Send a couple text messages to 5, 10 friends, family members, and just ask them, hey, what do you know me for? What do you think I'm good at? Just ask them these questions. They'll answer. They'll answer you in a day, and then you just take that in mind and take those notes here. Hey, if you want this worksheet so you can make your offer and literally just fill in the blanks on it, go into my Instagram, drop me a follow, and then just message me one word, DM me there on that button with the word doc, D-O-C. As soon as you do this, I'll message this doc over to you. Now, once you have all of these things, okay, you have, first off, brain dumped yourself. So this is an internal exercise. And then here you start thinking about the journey, the before, the after transformation that you've gone through. You're going to have some really good ideas. And now this is where we want to create your TMS, your transformation marketing statement. This is the one sentence, that's your one business plan. If you could only write down one sentence on a little post-it note, and that guides all of your decisions when it comes to your marketing and positioning yourself as an authority, this is the one statement that's going to guide that. Your TMS is going to be, I help who get outcome so that they can achieve dream without the old way by using the new way. And I'll define each one of these for you. The who, okay, I help who is simply just going to be whoever you were, okay? If you're a mom, chances are you're going to help other moms. If you were selling a fitness offer to moms, then if you used to be an overweight mom, guess what? You're going to help overweight moms. You see how simple that is? You just think through, hey, who was I 5 years ago, 1 year ago, heck, even maybe 6 months ago, if you recently solved the problem, that I used to be, who was that person that I used to struggle with? Well, guess what? That's the exact person that you want to market to, right? The result-driven outcome is really simple. It's whatever the outcome is, and you want to make it as quantifiable, and you can tie a number to the outcome as closely as possible. So for example, helping someone lose 10 pounds, helping someone build their business to the 6-figure mark, right? Helping someone achieve their dream partner. You see, that's not really a number, but it's binary. It's either they have a partner or they don't have a partner. So it's very easy to track, right? Get accepted into the dream university, find their dream job. So if you have an offer on any of these things, it's very black and white, it's quantifiable, because that's what makes the decision, the marketing very absolute, okay? And then finally, the old way and the new way. The old way is just simply every single person has already tried and attempted to achieve the outcome, but they're still stuck, right? So the old way in weight loss could be yo-yo dieting, could be working out in the gym 6 days a week, right? Could be hiring personal trainers, but still not feeling progress. Those are the things of the old way. So I just want you to think through, before you solve the problem within your own life, what were all the things that you had already tried that still keep you stuck today? And then the new way is going to be your method, your specific way of doing about it. And I'm going to show you in more detail how you actually set this up, but I call this the UM, which stands for the unique mechanism. And it's simply something that is your formula, your blueprint for getting the result. Okay. So for example, the new way typically is going to end with something like the accelerator, the formula, the blueprint, the system, right? It's your way of actually solving the problem. And if you're not clear on this, that's okay. Hang with me for the next few minutes. I'm going to teach you how to do this right now. Okay. So let's talk about this this unique mechanism, or in other words, the new way. Okay. In terms of the new way, all this is, it is a unique system, framework, or process for helping your clients get to the desired outcome. Okay. Now keep in mind, this is not your entire program. This is not your coaching program. This is not your course, your mentorship that you're selling. Okay. This is simply a 10,000 foot view, high level on the major milestones or key steps. And I really strongly recommend you keep it to a maximum of 3 steps. Okay. Step 1, you're going to do this, step 2, and step 3. Okay. And you're going to list them out and then just give it a super simple name. And I'll give you some examples of this, right? So the easy way to do this is you just think through, hey, before I solved the problem, what was the hell, the pain that I was in, the suffering stage? Then you think through, what was the heaven, right? What was the absolute dream state that I was able to achieve? And then finally, what were the 3 steps that it took for me to be able to get there? So let me see if I can find you an example in this Google Doc just so we can really paint this home for the unique mechanism here. Okay. So for example, let's go with the productivity example. Remember, that was my offer, my very first offer that I sold. Okay. The hell. The hell is I'm struggling with time management. I'm always feeling burnt out. I'm never meeting my deadlines. I never have time for my friends and family. I'm sleep deprived. I'm not sleeping enough hours, right? My significant other is constantly feeling resentment for me because I never make time for him or her, right? That's the hell. That's the pain that someone's in. And for you, you just want to think through, okay, if it's a weight loss offer, what's the pain there? If it's a relationship offer, what's the pain there? Okay. What's the heaven? The heaven is going to be, well, what exactly is it that they want to achieve? The heaven, the outcome in my case was, well, I want to save between 10 to 12 hours of work time every week. I want to sleep the best. I want to have proper time for rest and recovery. And I want to be able to spend time with friends and family. And heck, I want to watch some TV. I want to watch some Netflix at the end of the day. That is going to be the heaven for my offer, right? And then you think through, hey, well, what are the key steps of how they're going to get there, right? So you see here, I gave 4 steps. Honestly, I would just cut this down into 3 for simplicity's sake. I just want to give you some more ideas here. But you can see here, this is what I would do because this is what I did myself. Number 1, remove time vampires. Identify activities that are time wasters and delay them or eliminate them. Number 2, build daily routines. Build a routine, and this must be completed each day. Develop a daily structure. Number 3, leverage something called 3x magic time, which is identifying the time when I can work 3 times more productively than at any time of the day, and then use that time to create low urgency, high important tasks. And honestly, right there, I would just cut it off. Okay, just for simplicity, 3 steps. But if you're curious about the 4th one, there's the 4th one, right? Creating a high performance planner, which is basically creating a 2-hour interval calendar so you can follow it step by step, right? So as you can see, it's simple as that. Think through where they're at now, where they're suffering, where do they want to be, and then think through steps 1, 2, and 3 that are going to get them there. Once you have this done, now we're going to move into giving it a name, right? We got to give this unique mechanism a name. So the name can be something that simply ends in formula, method, technique, system, framework. Again, remember, this is not your program. This is not the product that you're selling. It is simply the unique process, the way in which we get people results. I would keep it to 2 words, no more than 3. Okay. So for example, let's go here to mine. Okay. The name, for example, of a business offer is something we call TCT. Okay, TCT, social selling system, is way too long. So in business, we teach something, and if you've watched my previous videos, you'll understand traffic, content, conversations, and closing and transformation. That's what we call TCT. So we'll call it the TCT formula, would be a really simple way of doing it, right? Other examples, the fat burning framework, the self-love blueprint, the high performance formula, the client attraction system. So do you see how that unique mechanism here is so simple? You just give it a short name. Remember, 2 or 3 words, nothing more than that, okay? And then finally, you want to go through the 3 pillars. Now, the 3 pillars is actually going to be pretty similar to what you just did here in terms of the 3 pillars you typed out, but it's just going to be, what are 3 key steps that someone has to go through in order to achieve the outcome that you promise, okay? These should be broad topics that your program covers. And then you want to get granular, meaning more detail-oriented with the sub-pillars within each pillar. So for example, you see how there's pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, and then underneath, there's these 3 sub-pillars within. That's what this is going to be, okay? It's going to be the key steps. So as you can see here, when I was sitting there in engineering, like, okay, well, what can I have for the pillars? You want to think through, okay, well, for these pillars, for fitness, for example, this would be really simple. Let's say if for your weight loss offer, we do something like this. Well, pillar number 1 is going to be fitness. Pillar number 2 is going to be nutrition, right? So you got to work out right, and then you got to eat right, and then finally, you need to have the right lifestyle. You see how simple that is? Right? So for example, this is a specific one. You can see there's so many different examples. I'll give you another one for just, let's go long-term real estate holdings, right? And again, I'm not a real estate expert, so I'm just making this stuff up, right? The first step is market research. Step 2 is building a Rolodex. And then step 3 is investing in offers. You see that, right? And I've given you a whole bunch of offers here. So for the sake of brevity, I'll let you read this on your own time, okay? But within each pillar, you'll see that there's 3 bullets per, okay? So fitness, we're going to do resistance training, metabolic conditioning, and joint mobility. Nutrition, we're going to teach you the quality of the diet, the quantity, how much you eat of the diet, and then how do you track it properly. And then finally, within your lifestyle, we're going to help you on your sleep, your stress, and your productivity. You see how simple that is? So that's just a really elegant way of making sure that you can communicate in your marketing, as well as if you're, for example, doing an enrollment call where you talk to someone on the phone, how you can present and talk about your offer in a way that's really easy to understand and it's digestible. Does that make sense? So that's going to be the 3 pillars that you're going to cover, okay? 3 pillars. Once you cover your 3 pillars, now finally, we're going to go ahead and build out the name of your program, okay? And then once we have the name, I'm going to show you how to actually build out the deliverable so you can present the offer the right way, okay? So let's go ahead and cover this. Naming your program is simply going to be, the name itself should deliver the results in advance, right? Results in advance, meaning when people read the name, they already go, oh my gosh, I need that, right? I need that because I know that for a fact is going to get me the outcome. So to give you some examples of the name of a program, okay? The name of the program, let's come down here. Here we go. So for example, for mine, for one of our business consulting offers in the past, we called it High Performance Influencer, because we're going to teach you how to become a high performer. We're going to teach you how to transform your personal life. And then we're going to teach you how to attract and build a relationship with other people by being a really powerful influencer, okay? Another really good example, just give you some examples of different offers, the 10K agency. If you have an offer where you teach people how to build their own marketing agency and you want to get them to, let's say, 10K per month, 10K agency makes sense, right? If you have an offer on, for example, how to develop high-income skills, this is all business-related, master any skill, right? If you have an Amazon offer, the Amazon Fast Track. If you're selling a dropshipping offer or e-commerce offer, Ecom Success Academy, right? If you have a productivity offer, right? Specifically helping people get more done in 90 days than most people get done in a year, you could go call it the 90-day year. You see how simple this is, right? If you have a weight loss offer, you call it the fat burning formula. If you have a time management offer, you call it the 10X productivity framework. You want to keep it to 2-3 words max. You don't want it to sound really, really complicated. And if you're wondering, well, Richard, what's the difference between your program and your mechanism or the unique signature system? That's what I call unique mechanism. The difference is this is the way that you teach inside of your program. Does that make sense? So you have a program, and in the program, you teach a specific mechanism, a specific way of getting things done. And they have to believe that this is the best way before they actually want to buy your offer. So that's the difference, okay? One of them is the way that you teach it, and then the other thing is actually the program that you, the physical product, or not physical, the digital product, right? But literally, in the most literal sense, the program is the product that you're selling, okay? Once you have these, we got to build out the deliverables of your MVP. And MVP stands for your minimum viable product, okay? So in the very beginning, what I don't want you to do is create a program, go to a filming studio, buy an expensive camera, and literally record 5, 10, 20 hours worth of course content before you even sell your first product. Why? Because what if you spend all of this time and you spend 2 months building out the perfect product that you think is going to be so amazing, and then guess what happened? No one buys, because no one wanted to buy in the first place because you didn't have a compelling offer. So the MVP formula, which is something that we learned in, I learned this from Facebook, I learned this from Spotify, like any big tech company, Uber example, they build out a small, simple version, as simple as possible. That's called the MVP, the minimum viable product, a product that is so minimally survivable, viable, that it almost doesn't work, right? But obviously we want to make sure it works. But you want to build a simple version of the product and we're going to test it in the market. So what do we put inside the product when it's just simply an MVP, okay? This is what you're going to deliver to your first founding members. So let's say your first 5 clients, your first 10, maybe your first 20 clients, okay? And then you want to use this as a one-page Google Doc for any time in the future, whenever someone has questions, hey, can you tell me what the offer should be about? What's your program all about? You can just send this deliverable document to them, okay? So the transformational outcome is going to be the thing that they're going to get high level. Hey, over the next 3 to 6 months, I'm going to walk you through how to lose 10 pounds. Hey, over the next 3 to 6 months, I'm going to show you step-by-step exactly how to set up a thriving digital product business. Hey, over the next 3 months, I'm going to share with you exactly how to find your dream partner. You see how simple that is? The high-level outcome. Then you want to give it a length. So how long is your MVP? I recommend in the very beginning, you just do 30 days, 4 weeks long. And the reason why you want to keep it short and compact is because that way you can get a lot of feedback from your clients. So in the next 30 days, this is what you're going to get access to. And then you're going to insert in your deliverables. And the deliverables are simply what they're going to get inside of the program. Okay, so for example, you're going to have, and this is just an example, but you can model after this. you're going to get a weekly Zoom call with me where I'm going to show you how to do X, Y, and Z, benefit. Okay. Also, you're going to have a high performance community of other like-minded individuals that are going to hold you accountable to following through on your execution. And then finally, you're going to have one-on-one messaging support with me in order to help you get unstuck faster with the 24-hour response time Monday through Friday. So for example, it's simple. You don't have to think through, oh, I have to create these PDFs and worksheets and spreadsheets and all this complicated stuff. No, that's going to be for your ESP, your evergreen scalable product. That's going to be later on down the line. But right now for your MVP, your minimum viable product, you want to keep it as simple as possible in terms of your deliverables, right? So for example, take a look at what you could include inside. Program length, 4 weeks. Hey, I can only let in 10 people, or I can only let in 20 people, and you can actually use that, by the way, as your advantage in your marketing. So there's scarcity, right? People are like, oh my gosh, I got to get in because there's limited spots, right? In terms of training, you would say, I'm going to be giving you pre-recorded video training modules that are going to be inside of a Google Drive. I'm going to give you 2 group calls every single week on Mondays and on Thursday. You can jump on Zoom with me. You're going to have a private mastermind community. And then here's the pricing, right? And then in terms of pricing, this is just an example of your selling an offer for $3K. And then you could also give installment plans with slight bit of interest on each one. So you could go $3K one-time payment, 2 by $1,600, 3 by $1,100, 4 by $900, right? Absolute minimum you could do is, if you don't feel comfortable doing the 4 by $900, I wouldn't do this, honestly. This one here is just a little, too much time. You could also just say, hey, the absolute minimum I can get you in for is $1,000, but it has to be $1,000 times 4 months, or $1,000 times 3.5 months, right? So 1,000, 3 by 1,000, and then 4th month, $500, something like that, right? I would just always add a little bit of interest because it makes people incentivize and realize that the best price is just to get in at the normal one-time payment price, right? So this is how you design the offers, okay? And then this is how you set up every single step of your deliverable. Now that you have your high ticket offer created, we can actually market it. So check out this video right here. I'm going to share with you exactly how to consistently make viral content without doing any of the heavy lifting or the ideation process yourself. I'll see you there.